Started?
Yeah, we started.
Okay. What's up, guys? Jesse Kotton here from Luxury Gaming. We just got third place at the 3v3 in we already saw Paulo. Teammates are Walter Jewell and Luxury teammate Christian Urena. They all played the exact same list, so I'm just going to breeze through it, and I'm sure G won't post his list because why would he? We all played Unchained. We feel like it's one of the strongest decks, this and Cash. However, this deck's matchups into all the non-engine that everyone's playing, like Book of Moons, is pretty favorable. Those cards don't do nothing against this deck, but they do a lot less than they do against Cash. And that on top of it being more unexpected, we felt it'd be a strong pick. We did pretty well. Obviously, we'd like to get there, but other places not bad at all. Now, before I continue, huge shout out to Luxury Gaming, obviously. Shout outs to Card Market, newest luxury sponsors, as well as I'm going to give a shout out to tsx1.com, Team Sam. Go check out his store online where you can get sleeves. Use the code POTATO10 for 10% off. Rest of the sleeves I use in the main event, however, they make us re-sleeve and top cut. So for the main deck, a lot of people don't like the tour guide and Rhino package. However, we still played it. Yes, this is worse for his hand traps, but it's a one-card combo. It's worth it. And this deck does struggle with consistency a little bit. So just having something is really good. Also, what's nice about this, if you have it and you get shifted, you can still make a Deus Ex Machina with 0 commitments, and you don't have to feel bad about it. And that came up for me once, and will come up again. This card's just fine. Sometimes this was cool to revive with Yama, and then your guys came show a card effect. That actually came up for me. I was happy with it. Normal Summon Rhino is fine, as long as you can link it away. 3 of each red, obviously these are your main starters. And then I played 1 Rakash because I don't like it enough as a starter, although it's fine. I prefer not to commit my normal summon. As well as, this is a fine normal summon, and then so is Sarama. So between that and the tour guide, you are pushing the edge of how many starters you should have. Nor do you need to have starters, so I did not feel like, or not that you need normal summons. So I didn't feel like I needed this in multiples, and I didn't regret it. Sarama, you just want to search it. You can normal summon it, but not normal summon as a starter. But normal summoning as an extender is pretty good. And obviously Shine was very good. The card's insane. Just drawing it sucks. A-Bomb. You have to play. This just outs weird stuff. Crashing a monster in the battle phase, something this is nuts. And Disaster, this is just for random weird game states. It's also nice with Sarama. You can set it, pop it, and revive a link because you can summon anything. This one's a Grave. Be able to link with your opponent's monsters, just lets you clear through fields, play through Nib a little bit better. I'm not sure fully yet. Everyone's back and forth on it. When it comes up, it is kind of nice, and it is good to break through fields, but drawing it is so acid. You question if it's worth it. For me, I haven't decided yet fully. And then I obviously played 3 Prison. I played 3 of each trap, no Wailing Souls. Most of the cards to be actually playable when I drew them. Wailing Souls is not, and already these kind of push it. Often you side out 1. Because they can't be rookie. So 3 Dark Contract with a Gate. It's going to add a DDD card. What's important to note is Hiking Caesar to end on. When it goes to Grave, can actually also add this. So this gives you more follow-up, as well as discard fodder. And then also an extender in case of this. So this is a card people don't know about as much, although I guess it's popped up more and more. It is DDD, Vice King, Requiem. This probably has a ton of effects, but I'm going to read the ones that actually matter. When it's in the Pendulum Zone, you can special summon it and destroy a Dark Contract, so just free Fiend. While it's in the field, though, you're locked out of summoning everything except DDDs, so you have to overlay on top of it for a back and X, which is fine. And then whenever you use the material, the monster you exceed with it gains the effect that you can shuffle back a Dark Contract from the grave to destroy a card on the field, yours or your opponent's, and then gain 1,000 life points. So you can use this plus a trap to get your combo, so it's a starter. You also threaten Zeus because of Deus Ex Machina. It pops, it threatens a pop. So it's just very strong. I like the card a lot. Better follow-up as well of Caesar. There's more ways to trigger the traps, because in reality, your only way to trigger the traps are these, mostly, and then Prison, which is only 9 copies, which isn't enough. This kind of makes that more reasonable. Pots, because again, consistency, it's a little better than Cash consistency-wise, but it's not great. If you ask G how he did, he'll tell you the same. He kept bricking. Non-engine, we played the books. We just think they're the best cards. They're still fine in the mirror. The only weird matchup is Lab with them, but they're amazing going first as defensive cards. And then going second, they're usually pretty good at breaking fields. This deck naturally has a decent time playing versus fields as well, so even if you only pick off one as you interrupt with it, it's fine. It's not like you're going to struggle. And then we also played Thrusts, and the 41st card was Talents. So one Talents to search off Thrust, but besides that, you don't really have any targets besides the Unchained cards. That's fine, because even if they just Ash you, if you have another way to pop, like you open a Tour Guide, the Ash, and you have the Aruha, you could just set the trap to turn it on, which comes up. Or if you get Nib, this can search Abomination Prison, and that's good enough. And then you just wanted it's one other thing to help you push going second with Thrust. So those Talents. Obviously, sometimes Prison is still better, or even Prosp, but yeah, this obviously is fine. For the extra deck, the D cards. This is how you play through Shifter. When you Tour Guided, you just summon this, and then you make Machinex on top, and that's pretty good. You don't really use it for much else, but you have the space, so it is worth it. High King Caesar is insane. It's multi double negate and it floats, and then Machinex is to summon with the other DD card, and occasionally you just use it with this. And then Zeus for Thrust, Change of Heart, and some again this stuff as well. You can use it. You're not always locked into Fiends. For the Fiends, Goddess, I summoned this once. It's not really important, but just add random stuff we couldn't anticipate. And it's a Fiend, so you can still summon it when you're locked. Nutcracker for the Griffin combo, Griffin for the Griffin combo. Unicorn, you can make it with Rage on their turn to get the extra spin. Oftentimes prefer the floater, but the utility is very important. Abomination, to clear up fields. When you Eclipse them, so you can't link with your stuff when it's face down. You may not want to flip it up, like if it's in a Rise Heart. This is a good way to just clear everything off. It's obviously good in other spots as well, but yeah. Anguish, you want to play one. I've never needed a second. This card, you break fields sometimes with it, not often. Most of the time I'm making it with Rage, just as a floater, and so my Escape is still alive. 2 Rage, I never needed a second, but you have the space, that's fine. Sometimes you relink it after you nib the first time, I guess. Actually, you know what? I did summon a second one once in that specific spot. And 3 Yama. I never needed more than 2, but the card is good enough that maybe I'll need it. This card is nuts. It's really insane. It really makes the deck. It's this card. I don't know what I would have wanted. It's all Fiends. I don't pack that access code. I don't really think I would have needed that, so I'm not sure what I would change. Side 3 Neb, 3 Ash. I don't love hand traps right now, but I do think you need some. I think Ash is really good versus a lot of matchups, especially when the books aren't. So it's good versus both branded Chimera and regular branded, and it's good versus Rescue Ace. Hitting Emergency is really good. Keeps them off of Dweller lines. It's fine. Whenever there's putting a lot of field removal in to clean up your field, having hand traps is nice because it diversifies your interruptions. Nebula as well versus Rescue Ace. That's one of the things that were bad when the books are bad. You used to kind of pick up the slack. This wasn't even really meant for the mirror. It was only if they got aggressive. Going first in the mirror, this is good though because it's really hard to play around this and a field at the same time. The main way is to steal all the Caesar. Change of Heart, which is nuts. With Quest for it as well. Duster for Thrust. Hell of the Abyss for Thrust for purely. That's for Thrust because we got shifted. Thrust does nothing. So if that way, there's cash, that way it just gets at this and we're fine. Barriers, so we have versus the Chimera decks and the purely decks. One stuff side up for the books versus the Chimera decks. So we had space after this. So the side plan allowed for 2. Graves would have played a third if the side patterns, made sense, but it just made sense for 2 cards to go in. What 2 cards to go versus Chimera, first or second. So we picked this. It never mattered for me. I drew it 1 game, but I was already winning the game. And then we think backward removal is very strong right now. So Storm, Storm actually hitting monsters is a thing that's not terrible right now either. Yeah, that's the deck. 41 cards, 15-15. Arguably, based on how the consistency of this deck is, you should try and cut it down to 40. I'm not sure how we make that work. Or maybe if you can find more extenders and on engine to balance out the bricks, go above 40. That's for future you guys and me to figure out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you hopefully another profile for Vancouver.